Hello, hello. So today we are not in the wilderness, which is quite unfortunate. But I am busy as fuck today, and I unfortunately didn't have time to trek it out there. So, as is standard, working with what we've got, and I'm just chilling in my room. Just want to talk about some things real quick, just to do it. Now today we're going to be talking about a topic I enjoy a lot, big time. We're going to be talking about travel. Now, I love to travel. It is a very fun thing. It's not something I've done loads of, but it's something that I've done a little bit of, and now I've got a taste for it. I really, really want to get into it. Now, this last summer, me and some friends went to Europe for a time. We went to 5 countries. Well, they went to 8. I went to 5 because I was meant to go with them to the first 3, but I didn't manage because I was fucking, oh my god, I caught some plague, right? And it was probably like the most ill I've ever been in my life, and I just couldn't have flown. Like, I literally couldn't have gone anywhere. I was not in a position to be moved. It was so rough. I can't lie. It was not good. But anywho, so I joined them later on. I joined them in Budapest. So we were getting from country to country on a train, so we were interrailing. So I joined them in Budapest, and it was, oh my god, it was boiling. It was like 40 degrees, which I didn't expect, and we were staying in this like prison-esque compound of apartments that didn't have any aircon. And obviously, since we were travelling on a bit of a budget, the accommodation was just awful. No aircon, and there was 5 of us sharing 2 beds, so it was just rough. But the city itself was amazing. We had a great time out there, and I would definitely go back. But I'd ideally just be doing it in a bit of a nicer place, like a nicer flat or whatever, because that was madness. Then we went off to Bratislava in Slovakia. Oh my days, that out of the 5 places we went, that was number 1. I swear to God. Don't rule out Bratislava. Go there. Honestly, it was really good. The apartment was nice. It had aircon, which was amazing. It was just a very, very fun time. It was still boiling as well, so the aircon was very nice and beautiful. And then we went to Vienna in Austria, where we got locked out of our hostel room and had to sleep on the hostel kitchen floor overnight because we were locked out of our room and had none of our possessions. So that was a bit of a shit night. But in hindsight, it was kind of like amazing. Like, a lot of people, including one of my friends in particular, wouldn't like a situation like that. But for me, I do, because it's just like, it's a story, it's a fun story to tell, and it was quite like a ultimately fun/funny experience, just getting locked out of our room and not being able to sleep in there and not having any of our stuff and having to sleep on the kitchen floor because everyone else in the hostel was so confused when we were like making beds out of chairs, and it was good. Went to Munich next. Munich honestly was a bit underwhelming. It wasn't great. It was a bit like where I live now, like Manchester. It was nothing different or special really. It was just a bit, everything was like under construction. It just wasn't great. And there was crackheads everywhere. And then for the last place was Prague. The last place we went to was Prague. It was very busy, but we stayed in a nice hostel, and there was loads of Americans everywhere. Absolutely loads. But I enjoy every now and again just hearing an American mid-conversation, just out of context. I just enjoy it because they're always dropping these amazing one-liners. I think it's just great fun. But yeah, now that I've had that little taste of travel, I really just want to be travelling everywhere. Obviously, I want to go to Thailand. But I don't know, it definitely doesn't end there. I want to really, really get around. Like, obviously, you see all these van life people getting about, And I used to look at them and be like, God, I don't envy that like at all. Like I would hate to do that. But now I've had like a proper taste of traveling and like freedom. I honestly don't hate the idea of that lifestyle like at all. It's fucking expensive. A lot of people would like to say like these van lifers are absolute bums like tramps. These people are making more than most people. Like they must be, or either like people like to say they're like got big trust funds or like parents' money. They maybe potentially, but some of them I know are like grafting and making a lot of money online and all that, so that they can fund an existence like that. Because it is expensive, especially since a lot of them drive like piece of shit old vans that are always breaking down and stuff. So it's an expensive lifestyle, but it's one that, as I said, I used to not envy it at all. I used to think it'd be a bit shit, uncomfortable. But I've been leaning more towards the idea of liking it now, or potentially even wanting to do it, just because of the freedom, of the, you know, just ability just to be in one place one day and another place another. Traditional travel doesn't necessarily allow you to do that like comfortably, especially so say you're traveling around, you're staying in like apartments, hostels, whatever. It's not as easy to be as fluid with your plans and where you're going. There's not as much of a sense of freedom. So I think the van life has kind of got that one down. I wouldn't hate the idea of it. It would definitely be an expensive thing, but if at any point I'm doing well and have the money to do so, it might be a consideration. Go around Europe again. I'd like to do America. I think it could be really cool. And ultimately, I want to travel just to, well, obviously see the world and meet new people. Like if you like to travel or if you've travelled or whatever, you'll know that one of the best bits about travelling is just like the people you meet and the interactions you have. It almost, in a sense, gives you like a better appreciation for the world. And it's just really nice. Like you realise that in a lot of situations you can actually speak to people and it's not something that isn't well received. You're not going to get like a funny look or an angry person or whatever. Because a lot of people, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, everyone, but a lot of people would like to be spoken to or want to be talked to. A lot of people would receive it well. Even if they're introverted, they're not going to like, they're not going to hiss at you and run away. They're likely to engage and actually speak to you, which is, it's just nice. People don't realise it, but people like to be spoken to. I really think they do. Not everyone though. Let's not say that, because some definitely don't. Like for example, when we were in Slovakia, there was this big face tattooed bald guy just harassing people outside of a shop, and I'm pretty sure one of my mates probably would have been shot by him. It was a bit of a, there's a funny, weird confrontation that occurred. But people like that are examples of don't speak to them. But if you're someone with like decent common sense, you'd know not to speak to people who are harassing people outside of a shop, or just don't don't look like they want to be spoken to. But a lot of people do, and it would actually make their days better. And I think that's the beauty of travel. It's just the people you meet, the interactions you have, because the sense of freedom which you get from traveling naturally, I think, makes you more extroverted. Like you're more willing just to speak to people and have those conversations. And I think that's fucking amazing. Like it's so cool to do that. And I think that's why people get so addicted to it, because it's almost like the sense of freedom gives you you become a new person in a sense. So speaking to people is amazing, and obviously just seeing the new things is incredible as well. Getting out of your home country, which you've probably been in forever, and just seeing how other people do it and just seeing how other countries look and whatever. It's just amazing just to be able to get an appreciation for somewhere that you're not as used to and see things that you don't understand or are not familiar with, and it's just so special. When I was getting a train from Vienna to Munich, just the countryside was amazing. That was so cool. and we got stuck because we got on the wrong train. And we ended up in Innsbruck during like a thunderstorm. It was very cool, but a bit annoying. But yeah, just getting to see like the cooler parts of the world and having a really good understanding for where we actually live. This big rock that we inhabit as people, because it's pretty amazing. You know, I've not seen all of it, or even close to. You know, I've only been to a few countries, but from what I have seen, it just tells me how much there is out there and how much there is to see. And that's just such a cool opportunity. If you can travel, do it. Like, try your hardest to see as much as you can. That's what I think. That is my philosophy. Also, I was a little side tangent. I was recording with this microphone, but then my phone storage got full, so the audio quality isn't going to be like as good. Just because it's going to be audio from a camera today, but I need to sort out my phone storage and make it so my phone can record audio for longer than like 10 minutes. But to round out this one, it's going to be a short one, probably around like 10-11 minutes. To round it out, I would like to say, if you have any ambition to travel or do anything like that, please do it. Don't let anything hold you back. Just go out there and do it, because it's such an amazing feeling, the freedom and the experiences and the dad lore and the meeting new people and just the stories. If you don't do it, you're really limiting yourself in terms of life experience, I think. And there's a lot of ways to do it for relatively cheap. There's some unconventional things you could do. A lot of people see it as like the traditional way, you got to save up and then you spend it all and whatever else. But there are things you can do to travel for relatively cheap. For example, you could be an au pair, well, whatever, however you pronounce it. It's basically someone who will go to a place in a foreign country or even your own country or whatever, but you'll basically be like a nanny slash house sitter slash babysitter for a family who needs help with like chores or looking after kids, and they'll basically give you bed and board, so they'll give you somewhere to sleep and they'll feed you for as long as they need you for. But a lot of these people need you for like 6 months, a year, and that is a great opportunity to see the area that they live in, and a lot of the time it's like somewhere in Europe or America or Australia. So to get on an au pair to get on one of those websites and register yourself as like an au pair, and have families reach out to you and open yourself up to potential opportunities is a really good idea. You could also volunteering in foreign countries, like Thailand does a lot of volunteering opportunities, like South Africa, just anywhere really. You could do volunteering. You could travel on a budget and then find work on farms and just work for people for bed and food, which gives you cuts costs, so you can just focus spending your money on getting around. Yeah. So don't have limiting beliefs. Don't convince yourself like, oh, I can't travel, because there's ways around the expensive bits. Obviously, some people, that might not appeal to them, being an au pair or volunteering or whatever, but I'm just saying it's just an option. You know, it's something that can be done to make it a little bit more accessible to everyone, for sure. Right. Thank you. Much love. Cheers. Wow.